Hello.
Hello.
Oh, we're gonna meditate.
I like meditations
Talk.
as in
Conversation.
conversation, but meditations of like a non-judgmental reflection of ourselves and our world. This, my friends, is for world peace. A peaceful pack of geese. I'm doing this for world peace. World peace! Man, I have so much compassion for us when we just are so busy grasping, you know, that like it just hurts a lot. Or we're just so busy letting go. It also hurts a lot.
I love that. Yeah. Grasping hurts a lot. Letting go hurts a lot. Yeah.
It both
Yeah.
hurt a lot.
Yeah. To me, the connection between those two is trying.
Trying
Like trying to let go is.
is like kind of grasping in a way. Oh, today is the day my dad passed away. And it's been 2 years now. And during that period when he had passed away, all I was doing was letting go. Like that was the thing for me, and it wasn't trying at all. It was just acceptance that dad is leaving now. I'm gonna let go. I like smiled, held his hand, he took his last breath, and he passed away. And then next on was dad has a lot of stuff and possessions. It's time to let go. Did a garage sale, just let everything go. Dad has a business. I was ready to just let that go as well. I was just so like okay with letting go, including letting go of myself and my own life and who I was and my essence as a human being. And then this woman came into my life and I fell in love with her and she told me to hold on. To hold on tight. To hold on to my family and what's precious in my life. To hold on to her. And I just completely flipped and then I just held on for dear life. From letting go so much and just almost like not caring about my own life to like holding on for dear life and cherishing it all so much. And now I'm at the end of that phase of just holding on. And I'm like trying now to let go more. So it feels just like a breath almost.
Some Tibetan Buddhist texts, which is in several other texts other than these, but from my recollection, I think I told you this before. There's ghost, or there's these moments where we come into full contact with life, and it's usually because it's so urgent, so immediate, that one cannot escape it. It's so present, and something like someone that we really love dying or passing away, or a breakup, or going to jail. There's all these sort of immediate. They pop you into the present.
Yeah.
And in Tibetan Buddhism, there's these rituals where you put out food for those events to happen. You call them into your life. So you literally sit out these kind of torma, this kind of there's different types of tormas, but it's almost like this. I guess we can think of it as like a biscuit, some sort of
Waiting it for
You're
asking for it
because it brings you to wakefulness, right? It brings you to So I wonder if you had that sort of experience of.
what's that called?
Torma is the ritual.
Torma.
Yeah.
Yes, I did go through Torma for my dad's death. Yeah. Have you heard of the movie A Star Is Born?
I don't think so. By.
It's with Lady Gaga.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
and Bradley Cooper.
Nice.
And it's like a movie with all these beautiful. It's like a full album. It's an album movie. They made an album with it.
Oh.
And there's a song. I'm off the deep end, watch as I dive in. Shallow.
Mm,
And there's another song called Maybe It's Time to Let the Old Ways Go.
mm,
Maybe it's time to let the old ways go.
mm,
And those songs I was like singing over and over again in my head. I was just obsessed with this movie and the songs in it before my dad passed away,
mm,
especially Maybe It's Time to Let the Old Ways Die.
mm,
I was just
mm,
singing that, learning on the guitar.
mm.
Then it then it happened.
Wow. Amazing.
Definitely some Torma.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah. I think similarly. One other thing it reminds me of before we jump off is um, something called Bindua.
Bindua.
It was part of Dogen wrote. Dogen is like kind of like seen as the person who started Zen.
Mm.
He was like kind of fed up with the Buddhism that was in Japan at the time, and so he's like, why are people meditating if they're um, innately pure,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so he was like, F Japan, I'm going to China to study with some real dhyana or
Mm.
like meditation masters.
Mm.
And then he went back to Japan and he started Zen. That's how the story goes. And he wrote something called Bindua. And I just wanted to focus on the word because that's what I get from you, actually. I get Bindua could be interpreted as the wholehearted way.
Mm.
It could be interpreted as like um, intimacy with life. Um, it could be the kind of immediacy of following your experience. Um, but I think it's often translated as wholehearted. And that strikes me as what you were doing. There's not a right or wrong to, um, grasping. There's not a right or wrong about that. But there's a question that I like to ask myself, or used to like to ask myself, is like, am I being wholehearted? So when you're grasping, are you grasping
Mm.
wholeheartedly? Not half-heartedly, because then we usually don't get the lesson.
Yeah.
But when you're wholeheartedly, it's like driving. You can't drive kind of fast. You have to drive really fast, and then when you experience that, you learn something about it, or
Mm.
really slow. But usually in the middle, it's kind of like it's okay. And I feel like it sounds like you've been so wholehearted and intimate with this experience and your ways of dealing with it. Mm.
Definitely.
Mm.
Like we talked about yesterday on the phone, like you
Mhm.
just arrived back in SF from where were you in the East Coast?
I was in Washington, but before that, I was in Philadelphia.
Just coming back from Philadelphia, so welcome back to San Francisco.
Yeah.
But on the phone, like I was, before you called me, I was listening to Journey to Extoquius by Carlos
Oh
Constantina,
yeah, yeah.
and he was saying, like with every choice we make, we unconsciously, or some people consciously, are making choices that could lead to their death.
Right, right.
Like just a walk to the park could lead to a car crash,
Mm,
and
mm.
it's like he was just making the point how hesitation is kind of lunacy.
Yeah, and we talked about resonance earlier, and I wanted to come back to that because our resonance was based on having Chinese background,
Mhm.
having Chinese connections, having Chinese family,
Mhm.
and that was our point of resonance. So it was a beautiful way in, and it matters, but I also think it no longer matters.
What was that word you were talking about? Like everyone has to go through their own levels.
Oh, upaya.
That was our
That
upaya.
was our upaya.
Yeah.
Exactly, to bring us, to help us see that we were actually connected.
Mhm.
Because actually, like I know, everything is, there's not a single thing. If I stop breathing, if I stop collecting oxygen from this dear planet,
Mhm.
and that's based on all the conditions. Um, I just wanted to bring up something that I find funny, which is proximal causality. And it just means like, what's the last thing that happened right before? The reason it's storming is because XYZ, wind, temperature, blah, blah, blah. Right.
Mhm.
But when we actually ask the question deeply, we
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
go beyond. Proximal just means close,
Yeah.
right? I'm in proximity.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we look deeper, we're like, oh crap, the whole universe causes a storm.
Yeah, people have asked me like, how did you meet Fan Li? And
Mhm.
I was like, I can give you the short answer, or I can give you the long answer. And when I go all the way back, it's like, how many people do I have to go back to? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's about 6 people down the
Right.
line before I get to you
Right.
and meeting you.
Right. And all of those like horizontal connections that made that happen in vertical.
It's insane.
It's insane. Wait, I come with peace. I come with peace.